What's up, everybody? My name is Alejandro Pacheco, and welcome aboard to this episode of the Business Airbus podcast and YouTube videos, where I'm documenting my journey in how to become a successful entrepreneur and how I can help business owners. On today's video, I want to talk about selling. And why I want to talk about this is because I really like selling. And this started like few years ago. I used to watch a TV series called Lie to Me, and it was this detective that he was really good by reading body language. And then I started like researching information about body language, and I came across that many good sellers use the body language as a tool to close a deal or something. So I felt like really interested about that, and I wanted always to sell something. And it was a shame that actually I never got the experience to work on sales. What I mean with this is like, for example, I had so many friends that they work selling cars, insurance, those kind of jobs, and I never got the chance to get related to that experience. So what I've learned from selling is pretty much what I've looked in internet and trying to model someone who is a good seller on YouTube, like Grant Cardone, pretty much. He's really good. And but anyway, so few few months ago, I went for a seminar about real estate. I paid like a $200 for that seminar. It was so expensive, but it was full day, and the information that they were giving us, it was really good. I mean, it was worth it, I guess. And I learned a lot. We'll talk about it later, maybe in another episode, about those real estate seminars. Anyway, on that seminar, they wanted to teach us negotiation skills. So by the end of the day, when this guy, the speaker, um, he wanted to give us an exercise. He wanted someone who could sell a house to him. But the main challenge was like we are not allowed to give a price for that house, because when you give a price, it's like pretty much you lose, because you never know if your offer is lower or if your offer is high. So we need to let them give us the first offer all the time. That's something that I learned. And but anyway, on that exercise that day, I consider myself like a shy person. Maybe here on the camera is different, but when I was at the seminar, I was feeling shy. And so he asked the people on the seminar who wants to be a volunteer and try to sell the house. No one raised the hand. No one. And he was standing just like next to me. And I said, okay, on my mind, I said, if I don't do this, I won't be able to sell anything on my life. So I need to remove the block just to learn something. Because this is only an exercise, and I have to be able to sell something. If I'm not able to do it right now, that he's asking who wants to volunteer, I won't be able to do what I'm doing right now, maybe. So no one raised their hand, and I just said like, okay, this is the time. So I raised my hand, and he said, oh, the only one. Okay, come here. And I started shaking, but I tried to relax, and I remember all about the body language and everything, just trying to relax a little bit. And he got a really good experience about selling, because he got so many years about on real estate. He's been selling houses all the time, and the way that he was speaking, it was really good. Plus, English was his first language. Mine is not. So sometimes I struggle to understand people, and when he's selling, I could be worse. So he wanted me to start. So he said like, okay, now you will sell me a house, but you are not allowed to give me a price. And that was the challenge. It sounds easier, but it's really difficult when you are doing it. So I asked him like, okay, what do you think about the house? Do you like it, or what's your opinion? And he said something about like, oh yeah, I really like the house. Um, I'm just worried about the price. What's the price for this house? He asked me straight away for the price, and I just get like, whoa, he's asking me for the price, and then I reply back, like saying like, oh, I'm really happy that you like the house, but before giving you a price, I might need to see what's your budget. Could you give me a budget so we can make numbers on this? So I go back to him with this kind of rejection, for example. So I'm not giving the price, I'm asking him to give me the price. So I want the budget. See? And he said, like, he laughed and he asked me again, like, oh, well, I have a budget on mind, but maybe we can discuss that later if you give me the price that is the value for this house. And I said like, oh, that will be awesome. I'm willing to give you the price. I just want to understand what would be the value for this house for you. So what's the price on your mind? Let me help you. I said, so I remember I said like, let me help you. So just give me the price or your value for this house and I will help you. He again laughed because wow, he wasn't expecting that maybe. And but I was shaking, guys. I was totally shaking. I was like, my mind was like, I'm going to freak out in some point. But I was like, okay, I have to do it. And then he saw that I was getting back to him without giving the price. And because you need to think fast, and if you don't think fast, you lose the game pretty much. So um, that was the challenge. And I remember he asked me again, like, okay, let's talk about more about something I can't even remember. It was something technical about documents, and I have no experience about real estate, so I didn't know what he was talking about the documents. So he actually won in that part, and I said like, oh, I don't know about the deals or anything about contracts, and so I freak out and I stopped thinking. I couldn't know what to ask him. And he laughed and he said like, "Oh, that was awesome. Thank you for doing it. You can have a seat now." Guys, when I sat on my chair, I started shaking like, wow, couldn't believe. I felt like I was cold, but shaking. And I thought like, I need to relax. And I guess that's anxiety, and we need to control the anxiety as well. I don't know how to control it yet because sometimes in those kind of situations I cannot control it. But I'm aware that I have the anxiety in those kind of situations. I need to learn how to do it if I want to be a successful entrepreneur. And but he said like, believe me, I've been doing this exercise, but with you was one of the best because you never give me the price, and that was the main reason of this exercise. When all the seminars finished, we went out for like some drinks, and all the people from the seminar came to me saying like, where did you learn how to sell? I was like, I never learned how to sell. um, I know from experience what I've been studying on the internet only. And they were like, you did so well. From that point I realized that I could sell if I practice more, and if I prepare myself I can sell something. And if I want to be a successful entrepreneur, I can sell something. So I sometimes I'm aware of my body language. Sometimes I'm aware that, oh, I get distracted or something, looking down or something. I know I'm doing it. I just need to learn how to control that just to sell something. See? So that was the experience. And one of my main strategies on how to do what I just did on that exercise was to give um, open questions. And open questions for me is like, you just go back to him with another question. If he has a question, if that person has a question, you just reply back with another open question. Just let him talk, because when you are selling, you just need to take more information about what he's thinking. Once you get all the information, then you do the talk. And always, always be the last one talking. Always. That's what I'm learning somewhere. I can't remember where, but I just know. Be always the last one to talk. Just be a listener. And I think I'm a good listener. More than talking, I guess. But I feel passionate about selling. And that was a really good experience. Now I know I need to improve on selling. I wish I could practice more with someone or be related with any kind of experience. But okay, going back, the main point of the strategy that I wanted to teach you today, more than teach you, is to share with you, that is helping me a lot, is to use open questions. And from opening questions, you go to following questions, which means like if he says something, you just follow up on that one. I say like, oh, I really like the house because I love the garden, for example. And if he says something about the garden, I just think about question about the garden, like, oh, we can put like some plants on the garden. What do you think about these kind of plants? If I know about plants or something, what do you think about these plants? And he will say like, oh, I love like maybe these other kind of plants, for example, like don't need water, just I guess. And so see, I'm getting that kind of information, like, okay, he likes these kind of plants, we can arrange that. And then I will try to pull my price up or something. So that will be a good exercise. And I wish I could practice with someone or something. So if you are interested in practice how to sell, please contact me. We can practice to do like these roles games pretty much. So we can practice. Okay, I hope this helps. I think this is one of my best experiences that I got about selling. And my main strategy is open questions. Always remember open questions. And it helps me in something like selling myself or even dating. It helps a lot. Open questions. Always let the other person talk and be the last one to talk. Cool bananas, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please follow me on Instagram, alejandro.pachecos, with the letter S at the end. And the Instagram for this podcast is Business Airbus. And also we got the fan page on Facebook, which is also Business Airbus. Please follow me. And if you want to practice how to sell, just leave me a comment. We can arrange like even a video call. It could be great. Okay? See you on my next episode. Thank you.